Today is Thursday, September 17th, 2020. Today is actually the recognition of the Constitution. So today is Constitution Day, September 17th. So I'd like to talk to you for a moment and then read a story, and then I'll put the video on at the end of our message. All right, to start out our message, we are going to... All right, so really quickly, let's go over our daily agenda. For today. Okay. So we're going to start our morning out with our morning message, and then we are correcting page 20 in our morning workbook, and we're going to start doing page 21, which we'll correct tomorrow. In vocabulary, you're going to be writing your new wow word and adding our new 5 words to the picture dictionary, drawing pictures for that. For grammar, we're going to be doing our verb task cards. I also put a copy of the cards in our folder for grammar, so that if you want to just look at the cards, you can do that, or you can do it with me in the video, or you can do both. In spelling, I want you to continue working on your spelling assignments in Spelling City, and I'd like you to please watch the video that I made for today for spelling. That will help you understand where to find things and what it looks like when you're finished with your assignments, because it looks a little different when you're finished. Number 6, we're going to correct our homework from our lesson in our big new math workbook, lesson 1.1. So your homework should be done. So we're going to be correcting that today and starting our lesson on 1.2. So you'll have homework tonight for that one. Then if you can do one full activity on extra math with Mr. C till he says you're done, that would be great. And then we're going to skip our read aloud for today, because I want to put in the video about the Constitution. So we're going to skip that read aloud so that you have that one for today. All right. So really quickly, I wanted to read you a story. Let me grab that. All right, so we're going to read this story called What If Everybody Did That? Let me back it up so maybe you can see both pages here. See what this boy is doing. I'm going to actually turn on the lights out here to see if it'll make it a little easier to see. There we go. Okay. So this man is yelling at the boy, "Hey," and it says, "Please do not feed the bears. When we went to the zoo, I fed just a little of my popcorn to the bear. The zookeeper waved his broom and said, 'What if everybody did that?' And look what would happen to the bears. They'd be unhealthy, eating all kinds of things that are not meant for them." I just wanted to see how fast the grocery cart would go. It went faster than I expected. When the manager stopped me, she said, "What if everybody did that?" Things would be knocked over, people would be hurt, scared. On the way to visit Grandma and Grandpa in Kansas, I dropped just one soda can out the window. The patrolman who pulled us over said, "What if everybody did that?" What would the world look like if we just threw our garbage out the window? What a mess. And it would get really messy really fast. At Uncle William's wedding, I took just a little lick of the frosting from the fancy cake. The lady behind the table glared at me over her glasses and said, "What if everybody did that?" Then when the bride and the groom came over, this is what their cake would look like. It would be very disappointing. I told the babysitter that I took a bath just once a year. As she shooed me into the bathroom, she said, "What if everybody did that?" we'd all look really dirty and we'd be really smelly. So many germs, too. During story time, I had something important to say. I just couldn't wait till the end of the story. The librarian put her finger to her lips and said, "What if everybody did that?" So she's trying to read a story and there's people yelling out, "I gotta go potty." Why can't we read one of those other books? I've already heard this one. My mom said that recycling is very good. And we recycled in my house. And once I'm so hungry. And then somebody's sleeping. "How much do you weigh?" "I can touch my toes, see?" While we sat in the car waiting for Dad, I honked the horn. I just honked a few times, but Mr. Thompson came to his door. He shook his head and said, "What if everybody did that?" Look how noisy it would be. How rude it would be. At the swimming pool, I just splashed a little. The lifeguard blew his whistle and said, "What if everybody did that?" There'd be no water to swim in. It would all be splashed out. On the bus, I just stood up to see the fire truck. Mr. Gearshift glared at me in the rearview mirror and said, "What if everybody did that?" And the bus would fall, tip over. People would be saying, "Sit down." It'd be a big accident. Just once, I didn't hang my coat on the rack at school. Mrs. Sanders made me pick it up and said, "What if everybody did that?" We'd have just this big mess, and then everybody's germs would be on each other. That would not be good. At recess, I threw just one snowball at Sammy. Mr. Walters saw me. When he sent me to stand by the wall, he said, "What if everybody did that?" People would hurt, crying. When we went out for dinner, I just shot one straw wrapper. The waitress stopped taking our order and looked straight at me. She said, "What if everybody did that?" The spit, things flying on people's food and hitting people. Ugh, be very gross. After the football game, I just ran on the field to get the quarterback's autograph. The official waved his arms and said, "What if everybody did that?" So they're trying to do their game and people are running up and interrupting the game. Can you imagine? When I came home, I gave my mom a hug. What if everybody did that? That would be nice. Mom and Dad, too. Dads need hugs. Everybody should hug their mom and dad. All right. So that's a good reminder of, what if everybody did just that one little thing that's kind of bad, but, not horrible, and it's just one time. If every single person did that, can you imagine what a mess that would be? Oh, that would be so horrible. So remember to always do your part, because when we all do our part, then it makes the world better. Alrighty. So something to think about. We're going to put in our Constitution video now, if you'd like to listen.
This is going to be great. You see, in this video, we are going to learn about the Constitution. But first, we want to hear from you. 8-year-old Madeline from Delaware watched our video on ancient Egypt and said, "I learned a lot about ancient Egypt, pyramids, and mummies." That is so awesome. Thank you, Madeline. We also heard from Uriah, who's going into the 3rd grade and lives in South Carolina. Uriah said, "I am getting ready for the 3rd grade. And with all your awesome videos, I know that next school year will be a success." Very cool. We are so happy to help you get ready. That was fun. Be sure and watch this video to the end to learn how you too could be featured on one of our videos. Well, as we mentioned earlier, in this video, we are going to learn about something very important called the Constitution. That's right, the Constitution. The Constitution is a very special document for the United States of America. It was written in 1787. It was the plan for how the government of the United States of America would run. It was important for the United States to approve a constitution so everyone would know how this new government would operate. Hey, did you know the Constitution has a nickname? That's right. Just like you might have a nickname, the Constitution of the United States has a nickname too. The Constitution is called the highest law in the land. It has that nickname because it truly is the highest law in the land. Every other law is supposed to follow and respect the Constitution. Government leaders are called to follow the Constitution and make sure that no laws are passed that go against what is written in the Constitution. The Constitution is the law that all other laws are supposed to support and follow. So, the Constitution is a special document written in 1787. It is a written plan for how the government of the United States works. It has a nickname, the highest law of the land, because every other law is supposed to follow the rules found in it. Now we are going to look at some specific things that make the Constitution so amazing. The Constitution has a lot of words in it, but none as famous as the first 3 words. The first 3 words of the Constitution are written with big letters and say, "We the people." Why do you think the Constitution begins with those words? Why does the Constitution begin with "We the people"? Those are the words that open the Constitution because that idea is the cornerstone of our country. You see, the U.S. government exists for the people, by the people. One of the reasons the colonists fought for independence from Great Britain was to get liberty and freedom for the people. The Constitution starts with "We the people" because it is not just written to set up the United States government. It is written for the people, by the people. You see, the Constitution not only was the plan for how the United States government would work, it also protects people's rights. The Constitution is made up of 7 articles and 27 amendments. The 7 articles mainly focus on how the United States government works. The 27 amendments are additions to the Constitution that came after 1787. Many of the amendments are written about the rights that people in our country have, while other amendments have clarifications about how the United States government works. None of the amendments contradict each other or contradict any of the 7 articles. The first 10 amendments to the Constitution are known as the Bill of Rights. They protect the most basic freedoms of every American citizen. Rights are things that everyone should be allowed to do. For example, the First Amendment of the Constitution guarantees us freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and freedom of assembly. There are some freedoms that took a long time but finally got added to the Constitution. For example, the 13th Amendment outlawed slavery. The 15th Amendment finally gave African Americans the right to vote, and the 19th Amendment gave women the right to vote. Just like amendments have been added in the past, there may be more amendments that could be added in the future. Maybe in your lifetime there may be 28 or 29 or even 30 amendments. We'll just have to wait and see. That is the Constitution, the highest law in the land. With 7 articles and 27 amendments, the Constitution not only shows us how the United States government operates, It also shares the rights and freedoms we have as American citizens. Share what you learned with a friend and let us know in the comments section below, what freedoms are you most thankful for? We'd love to hear from you. We were glad to have you with us today, and we'll see you again soon.
All right. So hopefully that helps you understand about the Constitution and why today is special. If you'd like to look up, I can see right here that Schoolhouse Rock has one about the Constitution, which would be good. So I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you learned a lot, and I will see you tomorrow.